Unpaid internships and the ethics of them have been such a hot topic recently. You can see it everywhere from article titles, LinkedIn blog posts, and Reddit threads. People are asking questions like, are unpaid internships even worth it? Will this unpaid internship actually lead to a full-time job offer? And how is this even legal? These are all very important questions when you're a young professional trying to break into the job market and figuring out the best ways to spend your time while you're doing so. Let's start out with an even simpler question. What even is an unpaid internship? According to Indeed, unpaid internships are temporary work arrangements that allow prospective employees to explore a work environment and gain experience without compensation. The key words here are without compensation. The cons of an unpaid internship are pretty clear. It's unpaid, there's the chance of exploitation, and there's the chance of a worse work experience. In this video, I'm going to share my own unpaid internship experience and some statistics surrounding unpaid internships in the hopes that it'll help you figure out whether an unpaid internship is right for you and if this is the best choice for you in your career. Back in my senior year of high school, I had decided that I wanted to get an internship. So after perusing the job pages and applying to both paid and unpaid internships online, I finally got a bite. It also is worth mentioning that because this was an unfunded startup, I was not the only person who was unpaid. Me and all of my coworkers also weren't taking a salary. This was something that we did after our real jobs that were paying us a salary. Eventually, the summer came to a close and I went off to college. My freshman year of college, I was applying to internships, but unfortunately, again, I didn't get any paid offers. By my sophomore year of college, the pressure to get some kind of paid position was so high. And at seemingly the last minute in March, I got my first paid offer from a company. I can still remember to this day being shocked and overjoyed when the recruiter called me. They actually called me a couple hours after my last technical interview. I was so excited to finally be out of the job search and to have broken into the tech industry. This next summer was one of the most rewarding and hardworking of my life. The biggest difference, I would say, between the unpaid position and the paid one was the quality of the work and the perceived importance of the work too. Because at the unpaid internship, I was given both technical and non-technical work, just whatever they had for me, they would give me. And at the paid position, I was given only technical work, so that included planning, coding, testing, learning how to write proper documentation for the technical projects, and of course, I had a fantastic mentor at the paid internship. They're willing to invest a lot more in you during paid internships usually because they have more budget to do so. There was also a bunch of helpful articles in the company that other people had written because it was a much bigger company. In a conversation about midsummer with one of my coworkers, it came up on how the hiring process was and why I was chosen as the intern. It turns out one of the main contributing factors to why they picked me over the other candidates was my past internship experience in high school. So my unpaid internship experience had really paid out about 2 years later when I did get that full-time paid job offer. Now, contrary to all the debates rising up recently about unpaid internships, a lot of internships don't look like mine did. About 60.8% of internships in the US are paid positions, meaning that most internships in our country are actually paid positions. So, are unpaid internships really worth it? While I couldn't find statistics comparing the after-graduation employment rates of people who had no internship and people who took unpaid internships, according to Zippia, doing an internship during college increases your chance of having a job offer after graduation by up to 32%. Now, that's a pretty big increase and could be the difference between a cushy job after college or extreme job hunting stress. In addition to that, about 70% of interns are offered a position at the company that they intern for. So if you intern for a company, there is a pretty high percentage chance that you'll be offered a chance to come back. Of those interns offered a return offer, about 80% decided to go back. That is a huge return on investment for the individuals and for the companies. In my case, personally, both of the places I interned offered me full-time positions after graduation. One of those offers was as a rotational engineer, and the other offer was as a full-time engineer on the same team. To address our next question of how unpaid labor is even legal in the United States, The long and short of it is, if the opportunity meets certain requirements, then the position is legal. The main factor is if the company can prove that the individual is benefiting more from the position than the company is. In other words, if the company can argue that it's a learning opportunity, then it is legal. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer and recommend that if you're an individual or company considering getting an unpaid intern, to ask a lawyer about your specific situation and do your own research on how to do it legally. Thank you. Another statistic I found interesting about unpaid internships is that women are more likely than men to be willing to take an unpaid internship. Now, this may seem like it is discrimination that women seem to get less paid work, but the real reason for this appears to be that women in general choose fields that have less paid work available than men. Of the interns doing unpaid work, 77% of them were women and 23% were men. The highest percentage of female versus male participation in unpaid internships are in the arts, about 85.9% women, and environmental sector, about 68% women. But what about you? Should you take an unpaid internship offer this summer? Well, it really depends on your situation and if you can stomach taking an unpaid position. But based on the above statistics and my own experience, taking an unpaid internship will help you get that full-time offer later. To summarize, the biggest pros of taking an unpaid internship position are: number 1, the chance of it leading to a paid position, number 2, the work experience, and number 3, the networking possibilities. The 3 biggest cons are the unpaid nature of the work, the time that could be spent doing other things, and the possibility for exploitation. That being said, there are other options besides being a paid or unpaid internship or even being a student. There are a lot of programs out there that offer an educational program where eventually you'll be offered a paid position as an intern if you successfully complete the program. 2 of these programs that I actually took part in were IBM Accelerate and the Citibank Early ID program. In addition to those 2, there's also one that Facebook used to have called Facebook University. Now, if you want some websites that can help you apply to these jobs really quickly, I recommend LinkedIn Jobs and Untapped have easy apply buttons, so you can apply to a ton of sites really quickly. And if you're interested in working at startups or unpaid positions, AngelList is also a great resource. Now, if you want to hear more about special company programs like these ones, or learn how to code, my channel covers everything from tech and CS, and we post videos every Friday. So make sure to smash that subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop on tech-related topics. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful.